you can see, it's not the most pleasant of days today, but that's okay. A little rain every once in a while makes us take a break. I don't want to take too much of a break, although I am going to take it easier today. I've been trying to think, what's the best thing I could get done today and still be moving projects along? So I think what I'm going to do, we're supposed to have a break in the rain fairly soon. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking the cardboard out to put down on the paths, at least on the left-hand side, those paths that are already done and where I need to be doing my planting first. So let me take you downstairs and show you my cardboard pile. The larger cardboard that I've generated since I moved here in November. It's not all of it, obviously. The small boxes and things like that I didn't really save, just because I knew the beds were going to be at least 2 feet wide, and I didn't want to have to be patchworking a bunch of teeny tiny boxes. So those I recycled. But these ones I've held on to for just this purpose. Well, this and the flower garden out front, which I'm not anywhere near being able to get started on. But I am going to go through this pile and start pulling out the larger pieces to start laying those down on the garden bed. Now, the one thing I do have to do, you can see on a number of these, the tape that's still on them. You don't want to put that in the garden. So I do need to strip all the tape and anything like that with adhesives, labels, and stuff like that. Those all need to come off. So I'm going to haul some of these upstairs, start stripping off tape, and wait for the rain to stop. So we're not looking for perfection with this. Ooh. We just want to get the worst of it off. The cardboard is going to break down in the garden, but in the meantime, it's going to provide an added layer of mulch until the worms in the water break it all down, which we want that, because as we've talked about, we want more vegetative matter in that soil. And believe it or not, cardboard is vegetative matter, because what is cardboard but paper, and paper is made out of ground trees. So you want to be sure to use cardboard that doesn't have colored ink on it, just because those chemicals will leach into the soil, and we don't want to add that. And you don't want to use anything that's got any kind of a plasticky coating, just because that won't break down as well. Amazon boxes are fine. I'm not even too worried about the tape because it's paper tape, but it does have those fibers in it. So what I can take off, I am going to try to. And again, we're not going for perfection. Perfection is the enemy of the done. So we're just going to do what we can, and anything that doesn't break down will probably rise to the surface eventually. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Anything that doesn't come off easily that you don't want to include, say an address label, you could just take a box cutter and just cut it out. That's fine. But most shipping labels, especially on Amazon boxes, they do tend to come up fairly easily. And don't worry about taking layers of the paper off when you pull the tape, because again, it doesn't matter. We're just putting this down as a compost layer. So if it's a little thinner in spots, if you're really worried about it, you can just put some extra cardboard over top of it. If you've ever heard of lasagna gardening, this works on those same principles. Cardboard is probably one of the most useful things you can have on a homestead, I'm finding. We can use it as mulch, obviously in the garden. I'm also using it around the trees. I didn't realize you could tear it up into small pieces and put it in your compost bin when you don't have brown matter. So that's an issue I've always struggled with is, well, it's the height of summer. I've got grass clippings coming in by the ton. I've got all these veggie plant leaves and whatnot that I'm pulling up, and I'm putting them in my compost bin, but I don't have any brown to balance it out. And you want to have brown in your compost because that absorbs all of the extra moisture and keeps the pile moist without being soggy. So you could tear up your cardboard and use it that way, use it there as well. I've been using it as floor pads down in the basement while I've been doing painting and furniture refinishing down there. There's just a lot of different things you can use cardboard for. Now, am I going to keep having a pile as big as you just saw down there? No. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to buy as much stuff anymore. It's amazing how much you end up having to buy when you move to a new place after losing everything in a house fire. But I'm having to buy less and less, so I should have fewer and fewer boxes and smaller boxes. Now I'll still want to have some as I'm getting more trees in, because I'm a crazy person and apparently can't say no to trees. And if you need to, like if I expand the garden next year, I'll need more cardboard for the paths in there. But so it doesn't hurt to save it. Now I'm going to be really glad when I have the shed, because then I'll be able to save it there instead of taking up space in the basement. Which the cats have loved that pile, and I don't know if you noticed in the video, and I'm not going to point it out, I did come across a dead mouse, so apparently they've been using it as their mousy graveyard, so thanks for that, guys. Alright, let me get the rest of these stripped, and hopefully it's going to stop raining soon and we can start putting them out in the garden. drizzling a little bit, but I want to get these down while it's still going to rain. And the reason is it's going to save me from having to haul out hoses, because you want to soak this cardboard down before you put the mulch on it to help start it breaking down, facilitate that breaking down. And if I can let Mother Nature do that work for me, so much the better. So I got them cut into single sheets instead of folded, and we'll just start laying these out until I run out. I've got more in the basement, but that's all IKEA boxes, and they don't have much tape on them, so I can just grab them and bring them out. All right, let me get this set up. Running out of time because the rain's already coming back. All right, let's let these down and get inside. So that's the first batch done. There's a couple of spaces where I ran out of small cardboard, so I'll get those later. And a couple of places where the cardboard wasn't quite wide enough. Again, I'll grab smaller boxes later and top those up. And then we're supposed to get a break in the rain this afternoon, and I'll start trying to bring up some of that mulch and get that covering those paths. That's going to make traveling through there a lot easier. I'm sure you saw me sliding every time I went through that first entrance into that section of the garden. I'm not too worried about that spot because once the gates are up, the fences are up, that's not going to be a high traffic area, I don't think. But if worse comes to worse, I'll just level it off with more mulch. I think that's it. I was hoping I'd have enough time to slap some cardboard and compost and mulch on the grapes, but no, the rain gave me just enough time to get that much done and not much more. All right, I'm gonna go and wait for the rain to stop. Well, I can't tell if it stopped raining or not. Every time I look at it, it's doing something different. So I'm at least going to get the extra cardboard down and see how it shapes up. We're supposed to be heading into a patch of it not raining. So one way or another, I should be able to start moving some material. Looks like the wind's been moving the cardboard a bit too, so I need to get those back in place. But let's go take care of that. That was short-lived. As soon as I started laying down the cardboard, it started raining again. All right, well, we'll go back inside and take a nap and see what the rest of the afternoon brings. Alright, take two. At least it stopped raining. It kind of had stopped in the early evening. I think it rained some more overnight. But that's okay. Everything's still damp enough that I can get some digging done and start moving some of that mulch. But not so wet that it's going to ruin my camera. Especially since it's a brand new phone. I dropped this one at the farm stand on Saturday. So Saturday ended up being a lot more expensive than I'd intended it to when I went out. All right. So this is going to be another busy week. Obviously, we've got hive inspection on Saturday. That'll go much better, Steve assures me, because we're not trying to take them out of their house. We're just trying to take a peek into their house. So hopefully that'll go better, but that's a problem for another day. I also have company coming this week. My brother and my mother are coming on Friday. My brother's just staying the one night, but my mother's going to stay for a little over a week. So I'm very excited about that. She's been really anxious to see the place and be able to start internalizing it. And I would love to get her advice on some of the stuff that I'm doing. So having her here is just going to make this feel that much more like a home and rather than like a hotel room that I'm staying in. Which is, it's getting better, but it takes a while to make that adjustment, to make a new place, even a place that you're excited about, your home. But in the meantime, I still have to get this done. So let's get to work. All right, 3 paths of my problem child yet to go. Hopefully, I can at least get 2 more of those done today. Almost there. But for now, I've got about an hour to get a couple of loads of mulch up on these paths. So let's get to work with that. Not great at turning on a pivot. So one load gets us about 1/3 of the way on the 10-foot bed. So each of these sections is going to take about 3 loads plus the paths. So I got a lot of loads, but pushing it up that hill is not going to happen. So in an effort to work smarter and not harder, I am going to take a break. And then later on when I come back out, I will get the mower out and use it like it was intended when I bought it, not to cut grass, but to haul heavy loads. So Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how that looks though, right? And if I have extra, I'll put more down, but obviously that big open space is going to take a lot of that, and I don't even want to calculate it. That pile looks huge right now, but it's going to go fast. That's okay. That's what it's there for. It's not for me to hang on to forever. It's for me to get on the garden. All right. I will see you guys in a little bit. To take a quick peek at the bees. And I'm not sure what I'm seeing. Steve will take a look at this and let me know. It looks like everybody's in the hive. I was a little nervous about villainy because when I first got here, nothing was coming or going out of the front. Villaini's the back one, Scum's the front one. There wasn't anything coming or going from Villainy. Scum had good movement. But the nuke that we set up in front of Scum for everybody to move out has a cluster of bees in the upper left-hand corner, what would have been the bottom right-hand corner of the bottom. And I'm not sure why they're doing that, unless they're just hanging out while they're waiting for instructions or what's going on there. But I'm not touching them for a couple more days, and even then, I'm just going in to see if they need more sugar water. But I had visions of them all saying, F this lady, and packing up and taking off without me. Just not what happened, although I was nervous for a minute there when I didn't see anything coming out of Scum. So, no, Scum is the front one, Villainy is the back one. I'll get them straight. I probably need to write it on them. But anyways, and that's what happens when you get bees on Star Wars Day, you know? All right. I was also good and preloaded a wagon full of hay just so I'd have it for later. But now I really am going to go in and get some breakfast. So that worked a lot better. I need to be a little more aggressive with how far back I push them, and I'm going to have to be strategic about where I dump the loads, because the wagon, I think, is going to struggle getting up it until it gets watered in and starts breaking down a little bit. It's all fine, it's all good. So I'm gonna fill up another load and get that up, and we'll just get moving on this. Not too bad. That was 3 loads in about 45 minutes. As you can tell, I'm not so great at navigating backwards, but that's okay. I can't be good at everything. So at this pace, I should be able to get this side done today. I say that, and 12 things are going to come to change that. One of them being, I got in touch with my handyman today about widening the bridge, because I really struggle. The bridge is only 4 feet wide, and the deck on the mower is 42 inches, so that doesn't give a whole lot of play, and I don't necessarily drive all that straight in this thing. So I'd really like to widen that. So I messaged him today and to see if he could put me on his schedule, and he said, oh, I'm just working around the corner. I can come over this afternoon if you want. So Devin may be coming over this afternoon, which is good. We want to get things done. It's just never in the order we want them to get done. I'm going to finish loading this wagon, so I'm good to go when I get off work, and I can get that done and just get a jump on that. I don't know if I'm going to get anything else done today besides this. I would really like to mulch the grapes. So I think whatever else I do, I'm going to mulch the grapes today, and I'll show you how I do that. But for now, let me finish filling this wagon and get back to work. think my bees are being cranky. Every time I try and film one, they take off. It's like they can hear the camera. All right, so I now have the rest of the afternoon to get some work done. I've got a load up here. So it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 loads. I don't know if I'll get it all done today. And I want to dig one more bed today. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow, so I don't know how much we'll get done, but we'll get done as much as we can. Well, optimism is a good trait to have. I got about half done, which is going to have to do. Although I need to get through this pile sooner rather than later, because I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I noticed as I was going through and getting into some of the deeper parts, it's starting to steam, which if I was composting it would be a great thing. I don't know if you can just see the haze through here. And when I put my hand to it, it's not hot, but it's warm. Oh. It's not likely to self-combust, but it's not a zero chance. So, like I said, I at least got half of it done. I may come back out after dinner once I've had a break and a drink and some food. But for right now, I think I'm done. And if I don't see you later, I hope you'll come back to see what we get up to next.